The 49ers just got a wave of good news on this happy Friday. I'm going to tell you all about it in this episode. Please hit subscribe if you're looking for more 49ers content like this, but let's jump straight into it. Starting with the question today, which is my favorite question for Friday, which is, what is your score prediction on Sunday? We've got as much information as we could possibly have up to this point. I mean, technically we could get a little bit more today. I'm recording right now, making up for some of the information that came out yesterday. We'll be talking about that as well, but then I've got some really exciting analytics and data to show you. So let me know what you guys think about the 49ers taking on this very good Jags defense. How is this all going to play out in your eyes? Let me know in the comments what your score prediction is. I'm still in the same boat that I've been in for the last 3 weeks before as well, of saying we're going to be in that 23-17 range. I don't think that the Niners are going to explode and score 34 points today or tomorrow, Sunday. Wow. But I do think that the 49ers are going to win. I believe it's going to be 23-17. That's my take. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, appreciate you guys. Let's start off by talking about the latest updates that I did not get to yesterday. I did a midday update, and so I didn't get to some of these updates. I want to get to them real quick for how things went yesterday, starting with the fact that Ricky Pearsall returned to practice, Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams, and Yetur Gross-Matos returned to practice. The real big news here is actually Trent Williams. Trent Williams returning to practice is huge because the last couple of weeks with that knee injury, we haven't actually seen a ton of Trent Williams. So that's really exciting. Yetur Gross-Matos is another big one. We're desperately going to need him in the wake of the Nick Bosa injury, so I'm excited about that. And then, of course, Ricky Pearsall could be arguably the number one for several reasons, but namely the fact that he has been your number one target outside of Christian McCaffrey. He's your number one wideout. He's your number one threat. He's your number one deep threat. He's the guy. So right now, that's the case. DeMarcus Robinson's coming in. That's great. Juwan Jennings, I'm not so sure, but I'm hoping he's going to play on Sunday. So he'll be questionable officially going into Sunday, most likely, unless I've missed an update, which is entirely possible as I'm recording this on Friday afternoon. But anyway, Brock Purdy was first in line yesterday during the pre-practice 49ers QB drills. So you can read into that whatever you want. He also spoke to the media, which is another thing that I say would be a good indicator that the boy is going to play on Sunday. That's where I'm at, but we'll get to some of these other updates that I missed yesterday. Saved a bunch of these for today. Okay, I think the toe is feeling better each day, and if that continues, he should be good on Sunday, says Kyle Shanahan to KMBR yesterday. And then Brock Purdy himself spoke to the media yesterday saying Brock Purdy said he's happy with his progress, but that it's still a day-to-day situation with his injured big toe. His body language demeanor seems much better than a week ago. So there's your positive updates. Let's talk about the youth infusion of the San Francisco 49ers and why particularly this is it's just one part of the wave of good news I'm going to be telling you about on today's episode. Starting with this right here. We've been following this throughout the last few weeks. SF Data Niners does a great job putting these charts together. And as you can see, the 49ers are number 3 on the list in terms of rookie snaps per team. The list is pretty much the same as it's been the last couple of weeks because, as you imagine, a lot of rookies are playing. And so there's only slight shifts that are going to be taking place along the way. But if I circle all of the 0-3 teams entering the week, okay, so obviously, yeah. If I circle all of the 0-6, the 3-0 teams, wow, language. If I'm circling all of the 3-0 teams and you look at them, you notice a big digression between the 49ers and we get all the way down at the bottom there with the Indianapolis Colts. Now, you would expect right now, you would understand why the 49ers, or why any team, I should say, that's doing well and is 3-0 might be more like a veteran team like we saw out of the 49ers a couple years ago. You would understand why a high vet team with low rookie rates, would be on the top end of that spectrum. But when you look around this list, you see the 49ers are surrounded by teams with losses. The 49ers are surrounded by a lot of teams with losses, actually. A lot of losses, I should rather say. And the 49ers are up there at the top with 15% of their snaps being taken by rookies. Now, why is that important? There's 2 reasons why that's important. There's actually probably 100 reasons. But one of the reasons that it's really important to me is not only are you successful 3-0 with this many rookies playing, the 49ers have more than just rookies. They have rookies and they have sophomores. The 49ers have Ricky Pearsall, Dominic Puni, and Renardo Green playing week in, week out. as your last year rookies. And you could even argue that Ricky Pearsall is like kind of a rookie and a half because he missed the first half of the season. So you've got young players that are dominating the snap counts. That is really cool. Not dominating in terms of like total number, obviously, but dominating compared to the rest of the NFL. That is really exciting to have that many young players playing. And we haven't even talked about Malik Mustafa, who should be coming back soon. That is a lot of rookies plus 4 more solid individuals from last year's draft that are contributing right now on this roster, while they are still, as I record this, 3-0. That is pretty exciting. We should be definitely stoked about that. One of those players, of course, Ricky Pearsall, being number 3 in receiving yards entering week 4. That's your Ricky Pearsall, man. That's your guy right there. That is unbelievable. Really, really cool. Obviously, these numbers will actually be different because of the Seahawks playing last night, but you get what I'm saying. Okay. Steve Young, talking about Ricky Pearsall, said this yesterday on KMBR. He's Steve Smith a little bit. I feel like he has body control and he's going to get open. It's not explosive. It's not like he comes out of the gate and it's like, oh, watch out. But I feel like he really understands the spatial relationships on the field, which is something that you have to give some massive credit for a young player. That's something that, a lot of that stuff develops with time. Yes, of course, we see wide receivers every single year just break out their rookie season, and maybe Ricky Pearsall could have been that guy had other situations early on in the offseason not affected that. But quick pause for a quick message from my partners over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Week 4 is upon us. It's getting real now. The season is hitting hard, and you're not going to want to miss out on any of the action. If you're looking to make it a little more interesting, you should definitely be considering checking out DraftKings Sportsbook. You can make it more interesting before the game if you want by projecting what you think is about to happen in this any given Sunday league, or you can get involved right in the middle of the game, live in the middle of the action, and you can bet that way too. Either way, my partners over at DraftKings Sportsbook definitely want to hook you up again. New customers can sign up today, place a $5 bet, and get $200 in bonus bets. All of that just by using my promo code STSF. The season is getting real now, and the electric matchups are only compounding every single week. You're not going to want to miss out on any of the action. And whether you're interested in same-game parlays, the spread, anytime TDs, you name it, DraftKings Sportsbook has got you covered. Look no further than DraftKings. The next great touchdown is most definitely coming to a TV near you, and you're not going to want to miss out on any of the action. Sign up today with DraftKings Sportsbook using my promo code STSF. Place a $5 bet and get $200 in bonus bets. What we're looking at right now is something special. And do I think that Ricky Pearsall is a guy you have to have on your fantasy team and he has to be your starting wide receiver or anything like that? No, I'm not telling you to go start him as a wide receiver in your fantasy league because Ricky Pearsall is going to lose some of those reps as guys like Demarcus Robinson are playing this weekend and guys like George Kittle are going to be coming back from injury. Like there are other targets on this team. And that's what we love about him. It's not all about fantasy, folks. Like I would rather have the 49ers, I think you would agree too, have the 49ers do well and have my fantasy team that I can't help myself but pick up 49ers players. I'd rather have my fantasy team suffer if the 49ers are playing well, right? Come on. But yeah, really, really special what Ricky Pearsall has done. Another thing that we got to talk about. This is really, really interesting chart that I actually think is pretty helpful in the end. But John Feliciano and Greg Cosell, we talked about them earlier this week, I think Wednesday. John Feliciano was on maybe Tuesday, but Greg Cosell was on Wednesday. And these guys have said, and others have said as well, that the offensive line is part of the problem right now for the 49ers. And in terms of this offensive production, especially in the run game. Understood, right? How about in pass pro? What are the pressures coming from? Where are the pressures coming from right now? I found this super cool chart by Anthony Reinert. And this is really cool, guys. So I'm going to zoom in on the 49ers there at the bottom. Okay. Basically, anything in orange is bad. Anything in blue is good. This is where the pressures are coming from opposing defenses through 3 weeks, of course. So you're seeing right now defensive tackle at 11.75% on the left side of your offensive line is where the majority of the pressures are coming from right now, above average in the NFL. That's why it's orange. But then on the right side, you see even on Colt McKivitz, who's a guy that a lot of people have hated on, and even on what would be Brendel and Dominic Puni, or it's not better than even, better than average, what would be Jake Brendel and Dominic Puni on that side. Jake Brendel, another player that people are really concerned about, and Dominic Puni, who's been playing through injury and still isn't playing his best football yet. So I'm really optimistic about it. If you take away, I know you can't because it's only 3 weeks, so we're talking about a small data set, but if you take away Trent Williams' first week, which is where a lot of that orange comes from on the left side, and you take away Connor Colby's bad week coming from that playing injured with that groin injury last week, then I feel like these numbers look a lot better. In pass pro, the 49ers have been pretty darn good. So we'll take that. There are red zone concerns. Don't give up on me yet. There are red zone concerns. The 49ers play sitting on the left side of that graph. Not all the way on the left side, but on the left side of that graph in terms of their red zone efficiency. And that's offense and defense, right? The 49ers kind of on the bad offense, sort of good defense, or like slightly above average defense. That's where they land there on the left. And so that's something that the 49ers need to handle. And I do feel like a lot of that's coming from the offensive line. I think Christian McCaffrey's playing really well. I think we saw him have a couple really nice plays. He had a couple that got called back that would have drastically helped those numbers. But all of that being said, like, are you concerned about the 49ers red zone again? I feel like it's gonna turn out okay. You had a backup quarterback week 2 and week 3. That's something you got to factor in. You have no George Kittle in the run game. That is a huge factor you have to throw in there as well. You don't have Juwan Jennings last week in the run game. That's another factor you got to remember, that downfield blocking. So there will be improvements in this area. I'm not worried about the red zone personally. Quick pause for crying children. Okay, now, as you look at this list right here, what you see on the screen, okay, is you see the San Francisco 49ers in terms of the number of times that they've punted at the top of the pack. You want to be as far down as possible, right? You want a few number of punts as possible. And the 49ers are tied for 4th in total number of punts. I'll take that, you guys. I will take that all day long. That is you admitting that you're moving the ball up the field better than average. You're moving the ball up the field. So we add the red zone into that. That is only going to help the numbers. We're only going to see positive results beyond. Just wait and see. I promise that's the way it goes. Now, we add to that not only is the offensive production, although we're struggling in the red zone, we're doing really, really well to move the ball. And we got our Brock Purdy coming back. We got Demarcus Robinson coming back. We have George Kittle coming back soon. Juwan Jennings coming back hopefully soon. So things are trending up in the right side on the offensive side of the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, we've got another stat that just continues to add to how this Robert Saleh defense has shined. And that is the 49ers coming in 3rd for fewest points allowed entering week 4, so not including last night's game. The 49ers sit there at 49 points allowed, number 3rd in the National Football League. And you know what? We can talk about how good the Jacksonville Jaguars defense is all day long, and that's fair, and they've done lots of interceptions, things like that. But at the end of the day, what really matters in the end is how many points you score versus your opponent's score, right? And the 49ers defense is not allowing a lot of points so far through 3 games. I'll take that, all right? I get it. We have to play bigger offenses. We have to play better offenses. I understand all of that, okay? But I'll take what I can get for now. This is great. This is a great way to start. And when you see what the Seahawks have done offensively through even just the first 3 weeks, you got to give some credit to the 49ers defense, how they were able to hold back Sam Darnold in that offense. You got to give them some credit. Give them some credit, all right? Look, we're 3 days away from the San Francisco 49ers playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. 2 days away. I keep messing this thing up. We're 2 days away from the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I can't wait. I cannot wait. to see how this game plays out. It's going to be a fascinating one. I've got more coverage for you coming tomorrow as we talk about winning the West and what that's going to look like based on what we saw on Thursday, based on what we saw in the previous weeks. So lots of good still to come. Don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you come back tomorrow for more. And let me know what you think in the comments as always. Appreciate you guys and hope you have a fantastic rest of your Friday evening.